Hello there. Few things before we start. Number 1, these are my top 3 shotguns, not yours. If you don't like them, that's okay. Number 2, these are in no particular order. And number 3, beam weapons as well as big ol' explosive weapons will get their own video in the future. Okay? So in at number 1, we have what I consider to be a grossly underused weapon, and it's Corinth Prime's signature primary, the Estella Prime. For the build here, we run Galvanized Hell and Savvy, as well as Primary Merciless, which I haven't maxed out because I'm a pleb. We followed that up with Critical Deceleration for as much crit as possible, and overpowered the negative fire rate with Shotgun Barrage. To top it all off, we run Primed Ravage for a ton of crit damage, Viral, and Sweeping Serration. And finally, Shotgun Barrage wrecks the ammo economy pretty badly, so I would highly recommend some form of ammo mutation as well. The Estella Prime may be a bit lacking as far as single target damage is concerned, but the splash damage from the explosion more than makes up for it. Now, when I say lacking, I mean it's not quite as good as the other 2 shotguns I'm about to show you, because this weapon can still tear through the vast majority of enemies the game can throw at you with an incredible amount of slash procs. One of the things I really like about the Estella Prime is that while we are relying pretty heavily on slash to do our damage, it still has a ton of upfront DPS, so status-resistant enemies like the Acolytes are not a problem whatsoever. Honestly, the biggest issue with this weapon is its ammo economy, and even that's not too bad, so as far as I'm concerned, this is a top-notch shotgun through and through. In at number 2, we have what is currently my favorite primary in the game, the one and only Corinth Prime. The build for the Corinth is pretty much what you would expect. We run Galvanized Hell, Savvy, and Acceleration with Primary Merciless. On top of that, we get Critical Deceleration and Primed Ravage for a ton of crit, and we top it off with Viral and Hunter Munitions. Now, personally, I cannot stand the long reload of the Corinth, so I'm running Tactical Pump as well, but if you don't mind the reload, you can either add more fire rate to make the weapon feel better, or you can run a faction mod for some extra sweaty damage. The Corinth is amazing. It comes with 2 fire modes. You have the primary shotgun mode and a secondary underbarrel grenade launcher. The grenades are amazing for getting rid of all the small enemies or covering enemies in status, and the primary fire, well, it does a lot of damage, and I'm gonna borrow a quote here, sounds like a god slamming a car door. It's just very, very good. Now the Corinth, just like the Estella, does a ton of upfront damage as well, so status-resistant enemies like the Acolytes are not a problem. So you can take it anywhere you want and do whatever you want and feel like a badass while you're doing it. If you don't have this weapon, go and get it. It's too good for you to pass it up. This last weapon doesn't need an introduction. We all knew it was gonna be here. It's the absolute monstrosity known as the Fellarks. Now for the build, you can either go the damage over time route, where you sport Galvanized Hell, Savvy, and Acceleration, you get Primary Merciless, and then you run Viral and either Slash or Heat. You also want to get some reload speed in there, whether it be Tactical Pump, Chilling Reload, or both. Or you can grow some chest hair and run this instead. Because the thing about the Fellarks is that unless you're doing some very, very deep endgame stuff, damage over time is not gonna do a damn thing. So for most of us, a straight up damage build is far better. It also works a lot better if you want to do bossing with this, which you should. Because all you need to do is take out Contagious Spread and replace it with Incendiary Coat so that you get Radiation and Cold. However, bear in mind that these builds assume that you run sort of the standard set of evolutions, which is Kinetic Baffle for the weapon recoil, Mounting Momentum for the extra fire rate per shell fired on a reload, Racking Wrath for the extra status chance at the cost of some critical chance, and Devastating Attrition, which gives you a 50% chance to deal plus 2000% damage on a non-critical hit. The reason I like the straight up damage build instead of the damage over time build is because, well, the Fellarks, it just one-shots things. And not just some of the things, all of the things. So why even bother setting something on fire or making it bleed if it's already dead? Because all that's gonna do is make the weapon worse against status-resistant enemies. Why would you want to do that? Now, don't get me wrong, the damage over time builds do make sense if you're doing extraordinarily high-level stuff, but if you're just running through base-level Steel Path, you're far better off doing a straight-up damage build. Plus, as I mentioned already, it's considerably better for bossing, and I don't mean just random star chart bossing, I mean big boy bossing, Archons, Eidolons, Spiders in Orb Valleys, that kind of stuff. This is straight up the best shotgun in the game, and if you don't have it yet, what are you doing? Go and get it. Honestly, the thing I like about the Fellarks the most is just the sheer amount of damage it does. There's just something nice about a weapon that I can shoot and it just explodes whatever it hits. It doesn't set it on fire, it doesn't make it bleed, it just makes it dead. And that is pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, let me know what are your top 3 shotguns in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.